and it's
But
a
it's in
miracle.
cheesecloth, so the seeds won't.
Oh, that's brilliant. Put cheesecloth around your lemon so the
Mm-hmm.
seeds don't fall in.
Yep.
Brilliant. And then just squeeze it in. There's no
Yep.
proportion
Now
on
it's just
that one either.
simmering, and
So you simmer that for how long?
just a few minutes.
Just a few minutes.
I'm gonna let everybody have a little taste here in a second.
Hey, what kind of wine would you pair with chicken piccata, Chef?
White wine, just any type of white wine.
Any type of white wine.
Yeah,
All right.
doesn't have to be anything fancy or anything.
Did your mama and your grandmother cook?
No.
You're the first generation?
Not like this. Not like
Not like this.
No. This is altogether different.
I bet you had a lot of comfort food growing up, didn't you?
Yes. Still do.
I do too. I did too. My grandmother and my dad used to cook all the time.
Well, cooking is it's a creative process.
Yes.
And you just got to be very creative with it. Just like this piccata, like I said, it's endless possibilities. You got to see other things to do with it.
I love it. And Chef, what kind of education did you have just growing up? When you were in high school, you said you started cooking when you were in your teens.
Well, when I was in high school, I wanted to be an architect.
More butter on the asparagus.
And I went from that to, I just fell into the cooking, sort of. And then once I got into it, I just took off.
You just did it on your own.
But I worked with some really good chefs and learned a lot from them. And we all took off together.
Wow. So how much butter and olive oil did you just put in there?
I just probably put 2 ounces of butter in the asparagus. Asparagus is something that, speaks for itself. You don't have to try to doctor it up and put sauces all over it.
These are all very relative portions, you guys.
Yes.
Whatever he feels like putting in is what he puts in. And when you get to the point of serving, you said you were going to put the asparagus on top of the chicken.
No, I don't have to. I can just put it on the side.
So you've got some rice or something also?
I just got some asparagus and chicken.
Okay, asparagus and chicken. So what else would you consider would be a good piece to serve with this? Rolls?
Well, any type of potato.
Potatoes, good.
Anything like that. But you see the sauce and made it right in the pan.
Look at that. Isn't that delicious? Check this out, you guys. That is something beautiful right there. Wow.
But you can do that with, like I said, seafood, pork.
Yep.
I mean, most people just go chicken piccata, and they think that that's it. But there's veal. It goes on and on and on and on.
A million different types.
Yep.
That's pretty phenomenal. So, what is the typical cooking time on the asparagus? 10 minutes?
No, probably just. It's according to how big it is. If you got the pencil asparagus, probably about 5 minutes. Okay. You want it to be soft but still firm. And
more lemon on top of the chicken with the capers. So just keep.
And I'm gonna put a little lemon on the.
Keep squeezing it.
On the asparagus. And this is just a piece of cheesecloth.
Yeah, that's perfect.
So the seeds won't fly out.
So let's just say we have enough left over to be able to keep what we've not eaten. What can we do with leftovers with a dish like this?
Oh, just refrigerate it and eat it, freeze it, whatever.
That's fantastic.
It'll come back to life.
Can you give us some clues as far as shopping, especially during this time of COVID when we're doing a lot of click listing, a lot of people are having food taken? What kind of a balanced diet is really important for folks who are starting to get to our age? I mean, what kind of food should we be looking for so that we don't have all the necessary options that we have at restaurants for the most part right now?
Well, what happens is, everybody's at home not doing anything, and everybody's getting fat. So
yeah,
you have to use your own imagination on what you're doing and just be aware of what you're eating.
Not a lot of junk food, right?
No. Nope.
That's
I'm going to cook a little bit more here.
Oh, we're going to cook some more. That's good.
Yeah.
That's for the other Thrive employee who just walked in looking like salivating after she smelled the chicken piccata being cooked. Yeah, I think the balanced diet concept has gone out the window because it's mostly just Hostess cupcakes and donuts for me.
Yeah, and it's just getting bad. It's just getting worse and worse. So.
Pasta, rice, or potatoes? Take a pick. You can have any of them. Pasta's good?
Yeah.
Not as good as potatoes.
Well, once again, you can do anything with potatoes and anything with rice. It's just none of it's just one dimensional. You can just go
Yes.
on and on and on and on.
Yeah, well, you know what you could do? You could make all three and then serve yourself chicken piccata with 3 different sides of starch for 3 days. That's what
You
I
could,
do.
yes, you could.
I love it.
But the whole thing about
So you lightly flour the chicken and then just put it in?
yes, you just lightly dust it and then put it in. So
Okay,
if you want to come around, y'all can help yourself here. I got it's hot.
we've still got some time though. Is
Okay.
that dill that you put on the
Yeah, I
chicken?
put a little fresh deal just to garnish it off.
A little fresh dill. And
Mhm.
then did you put the asparagus? You didn't put the asparagus in the same pan as the chicken. They were cooked separately.
Cook separate.
That's important. And did you just
But
boil?
let me tell you about that.
Yeah, tell us
Sometimes
about
the
that.
drippings off of certain things enhances, so you can do that.
Oh,
Yes.
you always want to cook the raw chicken though in a separate
Yes,
pan.
but once you cook it,
Yep, then you can
you
drip
want
it.
the drippings off of the.
Yep.
Yes.
And did you just boil the asparagus in water? The answer is
That
no.
was a little bit of water.
A little bit of butter and oil
Yep.
too, right?
Yep. Just kind of a shallow.
Yeah, and it's a
Shallow deal.
short boil. He said
Yep.
about 5 minutes, which is cool.
But I'm just saying that you can just cross-reference a lot of things.
Well, we're going to have a whole lot of time to talk about chefing because it's only 1:20. So,
Well, it's a like I said, it's a creative process. It's just like something like this. It's just eye peel. It's just
it's
you gotta
beautiful.
have colors.
Little eggplant, little pepper,
Yeah.
little artichoke,
Yeah, it's just certain.
some onions.
You just try to do little certain colors, but stuff like this is so simple to do.
So run us through the recipe from the beginning, Chef. Tell us all the
Okay,
things
you got
that you've done.
boneless, skinless chicken breasts. Pound them out to about 3 or 4 ounces. Medallions. Then you get your capers, lemon, butter. I love butter, but a lot of people don't. But the butter gives you the flavor that some oils just won't. Some oils just won't do.
I'm going to ask our sous chef Connie to bring that plate up just a little bit closer to the camera, to just a little bit closer and this way. A little this way, a little bit farther. Look at that beautiful meal and how quickly you managed. I mean,
Yeah,
you literally
it only takes seconds.
You just started it and it was finished before
Yep.
we knew. Wow, that's amazing. I'm going to show them on this
It
camera
smells
too.
really good.
Look at that, you guys. It does. It smells delicious. Okay, thank you, sous chef Connie. We appreciate you.
But a lot of people they're scared to do that with seafood
Why?
because seafood is very delicate, and you don't want to buy an expensive item like scallops or something and ruin them or overcook them. But scallops piccata takes 2 minutes tops. Saute it on both sides. That's it. Same way,
Amazing.
same process, the exact same ingredients.
Do you ever use what is GHEE instead of butter in a dish?
No.
Is that a fake butter?
Yeah.
He's a chef, for heaven's sakes, Valerie.
Well, I always got maybe the younger chefs, but when I come up, we try to make food taste great.
Yes.
Like I don't care if it's just mashed potatoes, you still want them to be great. Pork,
Yes.
you want it to be succulent. You want it to be good. I think if you're eating something, it needs to be good. Yeah, it needs to be tasty. It should taste the way it's supposed to taste. And
You want it to be nourishing and enjoyable.
yeah, but you really want it to be good.
What is your favorite bread to go with this dish, and what dessert would you recommend, Chef?
Well, I would, a crusty bread, something like a real crusty, hard bread, something like that for that. Desserts, anything. I mean, ice cream, sorbets, cheesecakes, pies. But that alone is so good that it's just a good way to go.
Oh, Valerie said ghee is clarified butter and tastes great, or G. I don't know.
Well,
Wilhelmina, you can find the recipe right here. They're going to be putting it up on the screen for you, and you can find all that information here. Second question, tell us about his favorite dish, bone in French veal.
A bone-in veal chop, probably about 10 ounces with the bone in it. And you need a char grill, char it, get it about medium rare, then put it in a skillet with a little sun-dried tomatoes, Kalamata olives, white wine. You can put capers in it. It's really good.
Very cool.
That's probably my, nope. That's probably my favorite dish. Something that I just kind of stumbled across.
How do you find yourself creating recipes? What is your inspiration? What time of day? What are you doing? What are you thinking about?
Well, since I cook for one person, when I go out in the afternoon, I go to like Paul's Fruit Market, and I just put things together as I see it. I don't go in with some plan like I'm gonna buy this, I'm gonna buy that. I just go in and just create on the spot, and then I go back and I just put it together.
So every day you go and visit the market.
Yeah.
And do you always like to shop at the smaller markets, or do you ever go to the big
I like
stores?
the smaller markets. I still go to Kroger's, but the smaller markets, a little bit better quality. And I go to a seafood market in St. Matthews called Lori's. And
oh, love that place.
And I go in there, and then once again, I know what the guy's going to eat. I know what he's not going to eat. Mm-hmm. So I go in for like 5 minutes and just stare at everything, knowing that I'm going to buy that because he doesn't eat the other stuff.
So if you see a man with a large hat staring at food at Paul's Fruit Market, do not be alarmed. It is simply Chef Howard Safel. I've got a question for you. Mm-hmm. I don't eat very well, obviously. And so what I'm curious about is, what are the staples that you recommend for people when they go shopping to buy that are simple to make for people who don't cook, and things that are going to keep you nutritionally balanced and healthy?
Well, the seafood is great because none of it takes 10 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, you either baking it, broiling it, grilling it, sauteing it, but it's all very, very simple, except trying to fry fish or something. But most of the stuff like swordfish, tuna steaks, it's just real healthy. You put it on, you flip it over 3 times, it's done. Perfect. Shrimp, you can grill shrimp on a skewer, lobster. I hate to be talking about the most expensive stuff, but
that's okay.
And you can make stews with cod, bouillabaisse. You can make just like what you said about if you're trying to do something for a couple of days, you can just make a large fish stew that'll last 2 days.
Lovely.
Put the seafood in last, because if you don't, it'll just disintegrate.
Right.
And but there's really no rules to cooking. Cooking is a creative, just like if I had 10 chefs in here and I said, well, you see this, everybody give me another presentation of that, because what you're doing, everybody sees things in a different way.
Yeah.
So
beautiful.
For me to go, well, that's wrong, I want it done like that, I might see something in a different way. So
one of your fans wants to know, have you written a cookbook yet?
No.
Are you going to?
No. But I've worked in country clubs for the past 25 or 30 years to where I was dealing with people, 6 people or 300 people. And we would do theme nights where one night we're doing Asian food, the next night we're doing Italian.
Right.
I'm doing something for just six people. And the next day, 500 people. I might get called to Lexington or Frankfurt to help another chef out, and they have 10,000 people. Amazing. So all of that is a really good experience.
Absolutely.
Like I've worked at Churchill Downs in Keeneland for the Breeders' Cup. So there's a wide range of people.
Cool.
And different approaches. And then for me, you never stop learning, because I can go see something that it's a different spin on it.
Absolutely.
So it's good to get around and to, it's never just one way of doing anything.
Right. So funny question. Somebody just asked, how would you prepare eggplant to go with this dish?
Well, eggplant, I would just, same thing. I could actually saute the eggplant, just cut it into about, 1/2-inch medallions, dust it, saute it lightly, and then it's basically done. Now, you can put marinara sauce on that. You can put mozzarella cheese in the middle and make like a triple stack of the eggplant,
Cool.
and put more Parmesan on top and bake it off in the oven.
So that kind of answers the question Jackie just asked, which is what are some creative appetizers that will really impress my guests? That sounds like
well,
fun.
the appetizers, once again, it's just endless. But
Perfect.
I mean, mushrooms you can stuff with anything. Mushrooms, shrimp wrapped in bacon. It's just whatever you like personally.
There you go, Jackie. All kinds of options. So we're going to give you the final word. We've got about 2 minutes left. I'd like you to recap the recipe, Chef, if you wouldn't mind, to just give us a reminder of how we did this whole thing from start to finish.
Well, first, when you go to the market, get probably about a 7-ounce boneless chicken breast. Take it home. You can cut it into 3 sections, pound it out. You need some seasoned flour. Now, you can use olive oil. You don't have to use butter, but butter makes the sauce for piccata.
Right.
The butter, the wine, it winds up with that consistency, the thickness of it. And capers. Now, actually, you can put Kalamala olives in there.
Ooh.
But that's not piccata, but you can.
Mm-hmm.
And you can actually put sun-dried tomatoes in it. So you could just go on and on. You can put mushrooms in it. So you can just create your own dish.
Exactly.
You know, you put your own spin on a classic dish.
I love it. Do you have a Facebook page or a website or anything?
No,
I've
just been strictly
you're a mystery
private.
man.
Yeah, I've been working in clubs for so long that I've been on the private end of the deal.
I'm gonna make you a Facebook page.
I haven't been in public, restaurants. So
I'm gonna make you an Instagram account.
But I've worked with the who's who of Louisville.
I know
the guy
you
that I
have.
work for now, he's a retired executive from Humana.
Excellent.
So he was at a club that I was at, and so he called me out of the blue, and I've been working for him for 3 years.
So glad.
And we work really well together. And then every once in a while, some of my friends will call me, they need some help, and I'll go help them do something.
Good.
I don't want to take over. I just help them out.
Thank you, Chef.
Be hired out.
Yes,
Exactly.
Oh, definitely.
How do we reach you if we want to hire you for work?
My phone number.
You want to give it to us?
Yeah, 502-345-1588.
Chef Howard Safel. Thank you so much. A big round of applause. Everybody come on in and get some food. Come on, you guys. Thank you, guys. Thanks to AARP for this wonderful presentation.
Is that it?